Alright, I'm going to try to get the engine mounts lined up and through the subframe so I can push it up against the body and start trying to get it aligned well. Looks like the subframe needs to go forward quite a bit. It's weird. Let me try to lift the engine up more. Problem is these engine mount studs are too far forward, and when I push this thing like that, it wants to it hits the studs before it goes forward enough to actually go through the holes. So maybe if I can get the engine up a little higher, it'll... So now what I'm thinking I need to do, I wish I didn't have to, but I think I need to take this other bolt out on that corner and then hold this thing in place and kind of put it all up. Basically, right now it's sitting at an angle and it's bolted in the back, and there's two studs for the engine mounts here, and it won't line up with them. So I need to take the whole thing off and put it all up at once. Go ahead and get those two nuts in so that it's all kind of hanging there, and then put the other bolts in. So, did I just knock over? Yeah, I sure did. So there are the engine mount nuts. Come on, creeper. Alright, I'm going to brace this with this leg. Alright, take that out. Again, I feel 100% confident in the safety of this. This is definitely not dangerous. I got all the leg strength in the world, but my arms are about to run out of steam there. Okay, engine mounts are on. In fact, I can let them hang off the engine mounts now, no problem. Where's my impact gun? It's over there. Okay, this bolt goes back there actually, so I'm going to set this, or can I go ahead and get it started? I guess there wouldn't be any harm. Make sure we haven't bound anything up. We're not. Everything seems like it's nice and loose still, which is what I want. Okay, this does look better now. Can we shift backwards? Not really. Look good though. Alright, I want to get this bolt. If I could get this bolt started, I would be a happy guy. Alright, I'm going to loosen these engine mount bolts a little bit and see if that lets this subframe flop around a little bit more. Yeah. Alright, so that's a good stopping point, I think. Basically got the subframe is, I didn't torque it or anything, and of course it's not a final installation anyway, so it's basically bolted back up to the body, so now the engine's not going to fall out of it when this stupid hoist keeps losing its pressure or whatever. And I need to order lower control arm bolts so that I can replace that crappy one, and then yeah, we'll be in business. So this is great. And then of course at that point I'm going to bolt all the suspension and stuff back up, bolt the rack back up, and then we'll start on the drop the subframe method of header installation. So here are these two bolts for the lower control arms. I'm inclined to think that this is the factory one. I'm not sure. I don't know why. Well, I don't know. This one's so excessively long that I just don't get why they would do that. And then also, this one has the same size head as the bolt, as the nut rather, whereas this one's smaller. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. But I think what I'm going to do is just get 2 more of these, or whatever. They'll probably come in a pack of 5. And so these are 1.5 M12 by 80 millimeter. So let's see what McMaster Car has on offer for those. And the new lower control arm bolts came in. Apart from being zinc plated, they're identical, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that stuff all buttoned up and move on. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and torque down all these suspension components that I had taken off. I don't see any reason to film that. If you want to see that, there's a previous video where I did all that, so just go back and look at that. These engine mount nuts get torqued to 59 foot-pounds. I'm pretty sure. That's what I did last time, so I'm going to do this time. Okay, I couldn't really find a whole lot of information on how to torque these steering rack bolts. I did see one guy found a post where he said first pass 44 pounds, second pass 45 degrees. I'm not going to do degrees on this. This isn't a head gasket. So I'm going to do 44 pounds and then, I don't know, 70, something like that. That'll be more than adequate for just a couple of bolts and nuts that hold a steering rack on. It's not a head gasket. Okay, I think I figured out what that guy was talking about. So I made this rod here out of a piece of brake line, and I bent a little L on the one end of it. And so the way the original alignment tool works is it goes in these holes in the body up here. That one, and then the one on the other side. I guess you can't really see it. It's right there. So it slides up into that, and then there's a needle in the middle that's supposed to line up with a line that's on the subframe. Now, they put a sticker in front of it for some reason, but you can feel it through the sticker. I didn't want to take it off, so I just put that black dot on there with a Sharpie. And so right now, so note the distance away from that center line that the brake line is. That's with it hooked on the left. And now that's with it hooked on the right. So right now it's, at least in my opinion, perfectly centered. I think that's probably fine. So that's basically the DIY way to center this thing without spending $200 or $300 on one of those repro tools. So that's that part. 92 foot-pounds supposedly. Sounds good enough to me. Alright, so the subframe is bolted back up and basically aligned.